Good morning, everyone. Welcome into Mornings with Loretta. With annual enrollment season in full swing, many are facing the pressure of selecting healthcare plans. New data from Fidelity shows that while all generations say health is a top benefit, many young people are feeling overwhelmed with annual enrollment. And joining us to make sense of all this is Ryan, and she is going to answer a lot of questions. So when you come here, you may not know, but when you leave here, I can assure you, you will know how to make a well-informed decision. Ryan, thank you so much for being here with us this morning.
You're welcome. I'm here to help.
I love Fidelity because they're always doing these surveys and collecting data that is so relevant and on point. So what can you tell us about why so many Americans may feel stressed during annual enrollment?
Yeah, well, with the cost of healthcare continuing to rise, we know that choosing a health plan that's right for you and your family can be difficult. And in fact, more than half of the people in our survey say they feel overwhelmed or even discouraged when it comes to annual enrollment. And interestingly, while women and younger generations say they feel overwhelmed, older generations tend to feel actually more discouraged about the process of choosing health benefits.
Wow, that is so interesting because I've been in a corporate America many, many years, and every annual enrollment, I just got anxiety about it, even when I wasn't changing anything. So I get it. I get it. And I love how this is so important this time of year. So can you just break down some of those differences for us that you just mentioned?
Yeah, absolutely. And so while everyone is focused on their physical health, younger generations rank mental health as a bigger concern than older generations do. And our study also found that 1 in 5 boomers say affording healthcare in retirement is a top concern, which makes total sense given the average retiree could spend more than $150,000 on healthcare alone in retirement. And then when it comes to women, longevity also comes into play because we live a little longer. And so that's why the average woman will spend even more than that in retirement. But the good news is Americans are seeking help with benefits decisions, including from their employer, even when you're stressed. So we love to see it.
You know what? I'm glad that they understand that women are living longer. We do the most, and that's why I think we live live the longest. We
Yeah,
don't have
and
time
we'll take over. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So with the rising cost though of healthcare, how can people stay on top of their health care expenses? Because a lot of people are having to choose this over that over our health care, and that affects everything.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to give you a few steps that might be able to put you in some stronger financial footing when it comes to your health, especially during that annual enrollment. So what most people are familiar with is starting with researching your healthcare options. You want to look at premiums, deductibles, and out-of-pocket maximums. But you also want to understand what kind of preventative care your benefits may offer, including things like mental and physical health support that might even be low or even no cost to you at all. And then lastly, for those that have what's called a high deductible health plan, you have access to something called a health savings account, otherwise known as an HSA. This is something our study finds about half of Americans are just totally unfamiliar with.
And I understand that. And I can tell you, I've been doing this a long time, right? And that HSA, and then when it's time to file taxes and is asking for that and this. So can you just help us understand HSA? What is it and how can it help Americans save on their healthcare costs?
Yeah, so simply put, an HSA is an account that you and your employer can put money into to help pay for healthcare costs. And while many people don't realize is that HSAs have several distinct federal tax advantages, and so I'm glad you brought it up. And at Fidelity, we call this the triple tax advantage. So one, the money you put in, also known as your contributions, goes in pre-tax. Two, you can use the account to pay for qualified medical costs tax-free, which we love. And third, you can also invest that money to potentially grow to use in the future. And all of that growth is also tax-free, assuming it's used for those qualified medical expenses. And remember, this account is always yours. It's not tied to the job you have or your company, and the funds never expire. That's why HSAs are an important part of your overall financial picture. And And we know there's a strong link between health and financial well-being. And our job is to help you figure out where it fits.
Okay, so there's HSA, and then there's another one where you can get a little debit card or something to pay for your prescriptions and your doctors.
Yes.
Like if you need something over the counter. So I've had people when they knew I was going to, they're like, what's the difference? And is it the same thing?
Yeah, so the HSA stands for the Health Savings Account, and FSA stands for Flexible Savings Account. And so that's where you can pay for those things like prescriptions and some other costs. So a little bit of differences between the two, but that's why we're here and we have so many resources available online to just try to demystify all of the jargon in the health, accounts world, even just the financial world. That's kind of the mission I'm on, is to demystify everything.
I like it. And you've already done that this morning with us, because I'm telling you that HSA, that's a huge thing. And I want people to go back and watch the replay of this, because she did break it down to the lowest common denominator. So where can people find resources to help them make those critical decisions about healthcare benefits this time of year?
Yeah, there's a ton of resources online, including tools and calculators to try to help you. You can find it at fidelity.com/health savings account.
Wow, you nailed that. You knocked it out the park, and we had a little time left over. Ryan, thank you so much for being our guest this morning, because we cannot have enough of these conversations. And I hope not only does it help the younger generation of people make informed decisions, but it helps those my age and those who are even younger than like millenniums. So we need to figure this thing out, because nobody should. I hate it that people got to choose. Whether they go by medicine or they pay their energy bill or they get a higher deductible versus, I never use it, so I'm not going to get it, then I need it. So thank Fidelity Investment for always coming through for us on these kind of topics. Thank you, Ryan, for being our guest.
Oh, you're welcome. That's what we're here for. We help people.
And you do it with so much empathy. That's what I love about it. That's what makes you different. You really get it and understand and want the best for us. So thank you, Ryan. Have a good day.
You're welcome.
So Ryan has to go, but let me tell you, I know we've had several conversations just in the last couple of weeks about open enrollment. That's because when I was in benefits and corporate America, I worked in HR for a while, and it took so many conversations for people to feel less anxious about making those decisions. So I'm trying to bring, I am bringing these conversations to you until open enrollment is over, because I want to make sure you have all your questions answered and you can make an informed decision that's best for you. Pick the plan, know what the terminology is, so that you're not just randomly choosing something that you think may or may not work for you. So until next time, think positive, dream big dreams, help someone along the way, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.
Your life live today, have you tried?